What's in your wallet right now? It's really just paper. The numbers in your bank account? Just pixels on a screen. Our entire economy runs on a shared belief that these things have value. But what happens when that belief cracks? This isn't a scene from some dystopian movie. It's a scenario that has played out time and again throughout history. When a currency hyperinflates, like in Venezuela or post-war Germany, the rules of value get rewritten. The ATM might still work, but the cash it spits out could be nearly worthless. Those crisp bills in your emergency fund might have more value as kindling than as currency. In that world, the raw aftermath of a major economic collapse, what is real wealth? Is it a gold bar locked in a safe? Maybe. Eventually. But in those first crucial weeks and months, gold has a problem. You can't eat it. You can't drink it. You can't use it to bandage a wound. This is where the game changes. When society is stripped back to its essentials, utility becomes the ultimate currency. Practical, everyday items, things you probably have in your house right now, could suddenly be worth more than their weight in gold in certain situations. We're not talking about wild speculation. We're talking about a practical guide to 15 items that could become the real currency for survival and rebuilding when the old money fails. Pay close attention. This isn't just a list. It's a different way of looking at what it means to be prepared. Number 15. Work gloves. It sounds boring, I know. But think about what a post-collapse world would actually look like. Debris needs to be cleared. Firewood needs to be chopped. Shelters need to be repaired. Gardens need to be tilled. All of that is hard, manual labor. In this new reality, a simple cut on your hand isn't just an inconvenience. With limited access to medical care, a deep gash could get infected, and a serious infection can become life-threatening. Your hands are your most important tools, so protecting them becomes a top priority. Why they're valuable? They let you work harder and safer. In a world without urgent care clinics, preventing an injury is always better than trying to treat one. What to stock? Don't just get one pair. Stock up on heavy-duty leather gloves for rough work, cut-resistant gloves for handling sharp stuff, and rubber-coated gloves for wet conditions. Get them in various sizes, because you won't be the only one who needs them. Barter notes. A single brand new pair of quality gloves could easily be traded for a day's worth of food or other key supplies. Think about creating a work-safe kit, a pair of leather gloves, a few bandages, and a small bar of antiseptic soap. That little package just became a premium trade item. Number 14. Eyeglasses and reading glasses. Imagine trying to read a map, fix a small engine, or give first aid when everything is a blur. For millions of people, their vision depends entirely on a fragile piece of tech they wear on their face. When supply chains are gone, you can't just go to the optometrist. Why they're valuable? Clear vision isn't a luxury. It's essential for safety and skilled work. Someone who can't see properly can become a danger to themselves and their group. What to stock? Go to any dollar store or pharmacy and buy a couple dozen pairs of simple reading glasses. Focus on the most common strengths, from plus 1.0 to plus 3.5. Keeping them in their original packaging helps protect them and shows they're new and undamaged, which helps maintain their trade value. Barter notes. These are light, easy to store, and have a huge perceived value, especially for older folks or anyone doing detailed work. Trading a pair of reading glasses to the person who knows how to repair radios could be one of the smartest deals you ever make. Number 13. Bicycle inner tubes and repair kits. When the gas stations run dry, transportation is going to look very different. The silent, efficient, and simple bicycle will become king of local travel. But a bike is only as good as its tires. Why they're valuable? No fuel means most cars are useless. Bicycles offer a way to travel, scavenge, or patrol without making a sound and without relying on a dead fuel grid. The inner tubes and patch kits are what keep this transportation network alive. What to stock? Do a little research. Stock the most common tube sizes for road and mountain bikes. Look for 26-inch, 27.5-inch, 29-inch, and 700C sizes. Pay attention to valve types too. Schrader and Presta are the two main kinds. Don't forget quality patch kits, tire levers, and a few durable mini pumps. Barter notes. Don't trade a whole box of tubes at once. Make small, self-contained ride kits, one inner tube, a patch kit, and a pair of tire levers. maybe bundled in a small bag. This is a perfect bite-sized trade that solves an immediate and frustrating problem for someone. You're not just trading rubber, you're trading mobility. Number 12. Cast iron cookware. How do you cook when the power is out for good? Your modern kitchen appliances are just metal boxes. You'll be cooking over open flames, on a wood stove, or right on hot coals. For that, you need cookware that can take a beating. Why it's valuable. Cast iron is the champion of off-grid cooking. It can go from a stove to a campfire without any trouble. It's incredibly durable and can handle the intense heat of open flame cooking way better than modern non-stick pans. With proper care, one skillet can last for generations. What to stock? A 10 or 12-inch skillet is the most versatile piece you can own. A Dutch oven with a flat-lipped lid, so you can put coals on top, is a close second. Also, consider a trivet to keep your pot off the direct flame for simmering. Barter notes. A well-seasoned cast iron skillet is a high-value item. It's heavy, so you won't be carrying it in a bug-out bag, but for a stationary community, it's a cornerstone of the kitchen. This is the kind of item you could trade for something significant, like a large amount of fuel or a critical tool. Number 11. Manual grain grinder. You can store bags of wheat, corn, and oats for decades. They're a fantastic source of long-term calories. But in their raw, whole grain form, they're not very useful. To really get their benefits, you need a way to turn them into something your body can easily digest. Why it's valuable. A manual grain grinder is the key to your long-term food storage. It turns hard grains into flour, grits, or cracked grains, letting you make bread, porridge, and other calorie-dense foods without needing a single watt of electricity. It makes your stored food edible, digestible, and versatile. What to stock? Look for a high-quality hand-cranked mill. Cheaper models might break under heavy use. A model that clamps securely to a table is ideal for stability. If you can, get a spare set of grinding plates. Barter notes. This is another high-ticket item. It's a piece of transformative technology. You might not want to trade the grinder itself, it's too valuable. Instead, think about bartering the service. People bring you their whole grains, and for a cut of the flour, you grind it for them. You keep the asset while still using it for trade. Number 10. Fishing hooks and line. In a long-term survival situation, you need a renewable source of protein. Hunting can be risky, and ammo is finite. Fishing, on the other hand, is a quiet, low-energy way to get food. Why they're valuable. They represent a sustainable way to find food. A tiny, well-stocked fishing kit has the potential to produce a lot of food over time. The hooks and line are incredibly compact and lightweight, making them one of the most value-dense barter items you can have. What to stock? Don't just buy one size. Get an assortment of hook sizes, from small ones for panfish to larger ones for bigger fish. Stock monofilament line in various strengths, like 8-pound and 20-pound test. Add some sinkers and swivels to complete the kits. Barter notes. This is the perfect example of a micro-barter item. Make dozens of tiny survival fishing kits, a small plastic bag with 10 hooks, 20 feet of line, and a couple of small sinkers. This is an extremely valuable packet that costs very little to put together now, but could be traded for a meal later. Number 9. Rope and paracord. From building shelters to tying down gear, from setting snares to making a pulley to lift heavy objects, the uses for good rope are practically endless. It's one of the most fundamental tools of human ingenuity. Why it's valuable. In a world without hardware stores, you can't just go buy a tie-down strap. Rope is the solution to 1,000 different problems, which means everyone will need it. What to stock? 550 paracord is the gold standard for its strength, lightweight, and the fact that you can pull out the inner strands for smaller jobs. Also, stock spools of bigger, tougher rope. When choosing rope, know its properties. Polypropylene is cheap and floats, but can degrade in the sun. Nylon is very strong but stretches and loses strength when wet. Polyester is often the best all-around choice for durability and UV resistance. Barter notes. Rope is easy to divide. You can trade it by the foot. Pre-cut and coil paracord into 25-foot or 50-foot lengths. This makes for a quick, easy, and universally understood unit of trade. Number 8. Cloth and heavy-duty sewing supplies. When you can no longer buy new clothes, backpacks, or tents, Fixing what you have becomes critical. A rip in a winter coat or a hole in a backpack isn't an annoyance anymore. It's a serious problem. Why they're valuable. They extend the life of all your gear. The ability to properly repair clothing or equipment is a skill that will be in high demand, and the tools to do it will be valuable. What to stock? Think heavy duty. Regular thread won't work on a canvas tent or denim jeans. Stock up on upholstery thread, waxed thread for leather, and a mix of heavy-duty needles. Add in buttons, zippers, denim patches, and a sewing awl for punching through thick materials. Barter notes. Just like with fishing kits, you can create small, pre-packaged repair kits. A few needles, a bobbin of heavy thread, some patches, and a couple of safety pins. You can also barter your skills offering to mend someone's jacket in exchange for something you need. Number 7. Water filters and fuel. Clean drinking water is non-negotiable, and the ability to cook food and boil that water is just as important. This is a two-part system for staying healthy. Why they're valuable? Contaminated water is a fast track to diseases like cholera and dysentery. A reliable water filter is a literal lifesaver. And fuel lets you cook food for better digestion and boil water as a final guaranteed purification step. What to stock? For water, gravity-fed filters are excellent because they don't need pressure or electricity. But here's a critical point. Most common filters with ceramic or activated carbon elements will remove bacteria and protozoa, but not viruses. To be truly safe, you must treat the water after filtering. The surest method is a rolling boil for at least 1 minute. Other options include chemical disinfectants like chlorine or iodine, a UV light pen, or a specialized filter rated as a purifier that can remove viruses. For fuel, lump charcoal stored in sealed containers is a great option. It burns hotter and cleaner than wood. Just don't confuse this with the activated charcoal inside your filter. You can't burn that. Asterisk barter notes. Small, portable filter straws are great for individual trade. For charcoal, you can break it down and trade it in smaller bags. Offering someone a bag of charcoal and a filter is a powerful combo that provides both clean water and a way to cook a hot meal. Number 6. Essential oils and soaps. Let's be very clear about this one. In a crisis, hygiene is a pillar of health. Your first line of defense is always soap and clean water. Why they're valuable. Soap is critical for preventing the spread of disease. It's a simple, effective sanitation tool. Certain essential oils, like tea tree, can serve secondary roles. Tea tree oil, heavily diluted, can be used to clean surfaces or help with fungal issues on equipment. Lavender can be used as a scent to boost morale. But do not treat them like medicine. What to stock? Bar soap is king. It stores for years and can be easily cut into smaller pieces for trade. For essential oils, buy small, high-quality bottles of tea tree and lavender. Keep them in a cool, dark place. Always have a carrier oil, like coconut or olive oil, because they must be diluted before any skin contact. Ever apply them directly to an open wound. That's what clean water, soap, and approved antiseptics are for. Barter notes. Soap will be a constant high-demand item. A sliver of soap could be a valuable trade. Essential oils, because they're so concentrated, can be traded in tiny amounts. Just be sure to frame them correctly, as hygiene aids and morale boosters, not as medicine. We're about to get into the items that represent power, information, and the very foundation of a new generation. The value here is less about immediate survival, and more about long-term influence and rebuilding. If you're finding this guide useful, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. We go deep on these topics every week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Number 5. Hand crank and solar radios. When the internet is down and the television stations are dark, information becomes one of the most valuable things there is. Where are the safe zones? What's the weather forecast? A radio might be your best link to the wider world. Why they're valuable? They give you access to potentially life-saving information without relying on the power grid. They are a tool for intelligence gathering and knowing what's going on around you. What to stock? Get a quality radio that covers AM, FM, and, if you're in the US, the NOAA weather bands. Look for models that can be powered in multiple ways. A hand crank, a built-in solar panel, and an internal rechargeable battery. Many also have a USB port to give a small charge to other devices and a built-in flashlight. Barter notes. A good emergency radio is a high-value item, especially for a community leader. The information you get from the radio can also be traded. Knowing a big storm is coming, or where aid might be distributed, is knowledge worth paying for. Number 4. Alcohol and coffee. In any high-stress environment, people will seek comfort, a sense of normalcy, and a way to cope. Vices and simple luxuries become incredibly powerful barter items. Why they're valuable. Alcohol and coffee do a few things. They're powerful morale boosters and social lubricants. Coffee is a stimulant that can help people stand, watch, or work long hours. And high-proof alcohol, at least 60% ABV, or 120 proof, can be used as a functional antiseptic for your hands or for cleaning surfaces and equipment. But let's be clear. It's a bad idea for open wounds, as it can damage tissue. Stick to clean water and proper medical antiseptics for first aid. What to stock? For alcohol, stock small, easy-to-trade bottles of liquor. They're durable and last forever. For coffee, instant coffee packets are lightweight, easy to portion out, and have a long shelf life. Barter notes. These are classic high-demand trade goods. The addictive nature of nicotine also means cigarettes will be valuable. A cup of hot coffee on a cold morning could easily be traded for services. A small bottle of whiskey could seal a major barter deal. Never underestimate the power of morale. Number 3. Portable solar panels and power banks. In a grid-down world, being able to generate even a small amount of electricity is like having a superpower. It means you can power radios, recharge flashlights, and keep small, essential devices running. Why they're valuable? They provide energy independence. This is a technological advantage that will be extremely rare and highly sought after. What to stock? Focus on portable, folding solar panels in the 10 to 30 watt range. They're big enough to be useful, but small enough to be moved. Pair them with several high-capacity USB power banks. This lets you collect energy all day and use it at night. Be realistic, though. A small panel's output is limited by clouds and weather, but it's infinitely better than nothing. Barter notes. This is another high-value asset you probably don't want to trade away. Like the grain grinder, it's often smarter to barter the service. You can become the community's charging station. People might trade you food, tools, or guard duty in exchange for an hour of charge time for their flashlight batteries. You control the power. Number 2. Reusable cloth diapers. This might seem surprising, but think about the most vulnerable people in any community. Babies. Disposable diapers will be gone from shelves almost instantly. Sanitation for infants will become a huge health issue. Asterisk. Why they're valuable. They solve a relentless, messy problem that directly impacts a baby's health and the sanity of their parents. A lack of proper diapering can lead to severe rashes and infections. What to stock? Modern cloth diapers are a world away from old-fashioned safety pins and cloths. Look for adjustable one-size diapers with snaps that can fit a range of sizes, from about 8 to 35 pounds. They're incredibly versatile. Stock up on the diapers, extra absorbent inserts, and some diaper-safe laundry soap. Barter notes. For any family with a baby, these will be worth their weight in gold. A clean, reliable diapering system is a godsend. You could trade a set of diapers for a significant amount of food, fuel, or other high-value goods. Consider bundling them with a bar of laundry soap for a premium infant care package. Number 1. Animal traps and snares. This is all about getting food passively. Ammunition is a finite resource, and active hunting takes time and gives away your position. Trapping lets you collect protein while you're busy with other things. Asterisk. Why they're valuable. They are a huge boost to your food gathering efforts. A trap line of a dozen small traps can work for you 24/7, silently catching small game to supplement your diet. What to stock? First and foremost, you must check your local regulations now and get trained on how to use these devices safely, legally, and ethically. Misusing them is dangerous and cruel. Where they are legal, conibear-style body-gripping traps are highly effective for small game. Simpler still is snare wire, which is cheap, lightweight, and can be used to make many snares. Barter notes. Knowledge is key here. The traps themselves are valuable, but knowing how to set them effectively and safely is even more so. When trading a trap or a coil of snare wire, Think about including a laminated, hand-drawn diagram of a good set. This dramatically increases the trade's value for a beginner and establishes you as a knowledgeable person in the community. So there you have it, 15 items that, in a world where the old systems of value have failed, could prove to be more precious than gold in the right circumstances. Notice the theme here. It's not about hoarding treasure, it's about stockpiling utility. Each item on this list solves a problem. It provides safety, sustenance, health, or a critical capability. That is the new definition of wealth. Gold and silver will likely have their day again, as a way to store value once some stability returns. But in a chaotic transition, when survival is a day-to-day struggle, the person with a water filter, the tools to fix a boot, or the knowledge to properly clean a wound will often be in a much better position than the person with just a lump of inert metal. The real takeaway is to look around your own home and ask yourself a simple question. Does this help me? Or my community? Do something? Does it solve a real-world problem? Start thinking in terms of utility, not just dollar value, because when the dollars are worthless, utility is what's left. Start collecting these items now, not out of fear, but out of foresight. Prepare for the world you might have to live in, not just the one you live in today.